What's up everyone, Mark here and welcome to another episode of Taste Lab. Today we are going to be taste testing this, not milk, plant-based whole milk. Now before we get started, I just want to take a second to thank you all so much just for watching today's video. But if you do me a solid and subscribe, it would really mean a lot. Please just click the red button down below or the watermark over in the corner, and when you do, make sure you tap the bell to get a notification every time I have a new video out. The more subscribers I get, the bigger and better things I can do, and each new subscriber really means the world to me. So before we get the taste test underway, I wanted to cover a few things about non-dairy milk in general. Most of the time when you see non-dairy milk in the store, it's marketed based on what's in it, right? So almond milk, soy milk, coconut milk, cashew milk. They're all plant-based milks, right? But they're usually trying to convey some sense of what's in them. When, on the other hand, cow's milk or dairy milk is just milk. We don't really tend to give it any qualifiers, at least in the United States or in the West. Non-dairy milk, though, is nothing new, like I said. I've never really been a fan of non-dairy milk myself, but I'm not lactose intolerant, and I have no dietary desires or restrictions that would require me to have non-dairy milk. I've just found that the textures are usually not quite what I'm expecting or what I like. Now, most non-dairy or plant-based milks are trying, to some degree, to imitate the characteristics of dairy milk. Not all of them, but some of them. I just don't tend to like the texture. They're either a little too liquidy or watery, the mouthfeel isn't quite right, maybe it's a little bit thicker and it's got some body to it, but it's a little bit grainy or gritty. Oat milk, I think, is one that comes to mind when I think of gritty. But, you know, to each their own. I recognize that people like them for different things. The reason that I was compelled to try this one is because I think there are two things going on here. One is a little bit of creative marketing, and two is a little bit of creative food science. So on the marketing side of things, they're clearly not telling you what it is, right? It's not milk, plant-based milk. They're not telling you what it's made out of, just what it isn't. It's not dairy milk. The other thing where the food science comes in, I think, is really the reason that they're not calling this anything in particular is sort of the same reason that we wouldn't call liquid coffee creamer hydrogenated oil milk. If you knew what was in it, it might not be so off-putting that you wouldn't want it, but you wouldn't think of it like milk anymore. So without even looking at the ingredient list, I suspect that there's a little bit of that going on. The other reason that I wanted to try it really is because I'm intrigued by the idea that this is calling itself whole milk. It is clearly trying to be whole milk. So here in the United States, at least, there's a little bit of a color code to these things even, where, you know, the red cap or the red carton are typically indicative of whole milk, cow's milk, or dairy milk. So this is very clearly, to me at least, trying to pass itself off as a reasonable facsimile for whole dairy milk. So I wanted to put this through a couple of tests that would sort of emulate where I would encounter milk in my normal everyday life, and that is drinking it, which I don't do a ton. But, you know, sometimes I'll have a glass of chocolate milk, or sometimes I'll have a small glass of milk with cookies or with a slice of chocolate cake. And the other is over cereal. Now, the clearest, cleanest test, of course, is going to be just the plain milk side by side. I'm curious to see how distinguishable they'll be once the chocolate syrup is added, and I'm interested to see how it will be over cereal. That actually happens to be one place where, for me, I can tolerate or even enjoy most of the non-dairy milks that I typically don't like to drink. So with that, I think we will get started with the test. So the first thing we're going to do is compare the two milks side by side, just plain white milk in a glass. We'll then proceed to the chocolate syrup, and then we'll see how it tastes with the cereal. So this gives us a good opportunity to compare color, texture, consistency, all of the things. I don't know if you're supposed to shake it. Shake well. Having to shake it doesn't give me the utmost confidence to begin with, since, you know, normal milk just stays in suspension. You don't really have to do anything to shake it up, but we will see. I have to say, it does look a little bit like real milk in the glass. I don't know if you can see it, but the, you know, it clings without looking an off texture or grainy, similar to the dairy milk. The colors seem about the same. So let's see what's in it, shall we? Water, sunflower oil, pea protein, contains less than 2% of sugar, pineapple juice concentrate, dipotassium phosphate, calcium carbonate, gellan gum, acacia gum, salt, monocalcium phosphate, natural flavor, cabbage juice concentrate, vitamin D2, vitamin B12, and it's made in a factory that also produces milk, soy milk, almonds, and coconut. Let's see. That's whole milk. Oh, it's trying real hard, but it's not. Interestingly, I think I can taste the pineapple juice concentrate. It's not bad. It's definitely not whole milk. The mouthfeel and the consistency is very close. You know, I think there's just some emulsified, you know, fats and proteins in there, and that's just how they're accomplishing it. I don't know if I'd have picked out the pineapple juice if I hadn't read the ingredients first. I might have thought it was coconut or something. Could just be the sunflower oil, maybe. I don't know. It's interesting. But let's try it with the chocolate syrup, shall we? So, dairy chocolate milk. And not milk, chocolate milk. It tastes all right. I think at this point I would liken it to like a pre-packaged chocolate milk product, not necessarily completely real milk, but like a milk-like product, like Yoo-Hoo. I don't know what they're called in other places, but I know like around here we have like Hershey's milkshake kind of things in the dairy case, or in the, you know, with bottled drinks. Tastes kind of like chocolate milk, but not really. I think that's kind of what we've got going on here. So the cereal. This is, like I said, where I think it's going to shine, at least as much as it can. Give her a go. See that? And this, I probably would not know if you didn't tell me. So, you know, crunchy, maple, sweetened cereal definitely masks enough of the non-dairy milk flavors in this that you could easily mistake it for dairy milk, I think. Guys, I think that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, or a thumbs down if you didn't, and either way, tell me what you think down in the comments. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.